Hello everyone. For thousands of years, people have pondered about what happens after death. And on to this day, it remains a great mystery. About 3,000 years ago, many believed that when a person dies, the soul of the departed would go to a place below earth. However, at a later period in time, it did not seem right to have both the good and the bad going to the same place. And so an idea grew whereby those who do good will go up to a heaven, while those who did bad will go to a hell below. Approximately 800 to 500 BC, two different beliefs, namely the doctrine of reincarnation and the belief in resurrection, became popular among religious thinkers. For the followers of both doctrines, a show of respect for the deceased was important, and so funeral rites were done to give peace to the soul and to honor the dead. Over the years, numerous archaeological findings have revealed that in many past civilizations, people have buried their dead with pottery, stone tools, and food offerings, perhaps thinking that the departed might need them in the afterworld. In another region of the globe, some believe that apart from heaven and earth, there is a realm called the abode of the ancestral spirits. And after funeral rites were performed, one's soul would go directly to the luminous abode of their ancestors. During this period, cremation became more popular than burial, perhaps to release the body back to the five elements or to prevent the soul from identifying with the dead body. Amid it all, many who were superstitious would tie the big toes of the dead person together, fearing that the dead might walk back to the house. Some who returned home from a funeral would cleanse themselves by touching a grain, a stone, the fire, dung, water, etc. For these believers, then until now, young children are considered innocent, hence they are not cremated, they are buried. In the course of time, many came to believe that the soul did not go directly to the abode of the ancestors. Instead, it became a wandering spirit. It is not until an act of faith which comprised of prayers, offerings of food, etc. were performed by close relatives that the soul of the departed would join their ancestors. At a later period, others came to believe that the soul did not become a wandering spirit. Instead, it took on a subtle body. And to free the soul from this state, elaborate rites must be performed over several days following cremation. Today, while these lengthy rites remain popular among millions of people, others feel that these rituals after cremation are not necessary, since they believe that after the funeral rites are done, the soul is either liberated or it eventually enters a new human body. When analyzing it all, one can see how some ancient beliefs gradually change over the course of time. Over the years, a number of priests have discouraged superstitious practices and have gradually shortened religious sermons so that the rites they perform do not become boring to a younger generation that is probably looking for a better presentation of their faith. Today, many people do not attend churches or places of worship, but yet they have some connection to their faith they were brought up in. For in times of joy, they may do a traditional wedding ceremony to sanctify their marriage, and in times of sorrow, they may take part in the traditional funeral rites of a close relative. I believe that though many rituals or ceremonies are rooted in antiquity, some of them give meaning to our lives, especially at a funeral, a pilgrimage, or even at the inauguration of a pope or the president of a nation. To the majority of us who have lost a loved one, performing rites for the deceased through meaningful rituals and prayers not only puts a peaceful close to one's life on earth, but it fulfills a moral obligation to treat the deceased with dignity and respect. It has been said that when some people are gravely ill, they tend to look as though they are pondering on something. When I first witnessed this, I was drawn to think about these two sacred verses that pertain to when a person is dying. Remember me at the time of death, and you will come to me. Love and adore me with all your heart, and you will reach me. In closing, I would like to thank you for listening.